like, is my thing falling? That was you.
Me?
No, them. Okay. So Janet's gonna do yoga with us, apparently. She likes to come in and out. So yeah, so everybody's down on their knees. Let's just start down on our knees, hips to heels. Close down your eyes. Allow your shoulders to melt away from your ears. Lift your sternum. Notice if your face is holding on to any tension right now. It's early. Sometimes even just the thought of moving causes your face to tense up, or you don't even realize that you're carrying the tension from waking up. We're now officially into fall. Yesterday was the equinox. So just kind of sitting with that and how that feels in the body. One more deep breath in through the nose. This time exhale through your mouth. Gently flutter your eyes open, crawl your hands forward, lifting yourself up onto all fours. And start cat and cow. So we'll inhale for our cow spine. Hi, Janet. Inhale, arching the head up, dropping the belly low. Exhale, lifting the belly, dropping the head. Chin into your chest. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale for your cat. Last one. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, come to a neutral spine. Send your right leg back, tucking your toes, pressing back through your right heel. From there, float your heel about hip height, keeping your toes dialing down towards the ground, so keep your right hip nice and square. Plug your left shin really deeply into the mat, and then float your left hand forward. Just growing yourself really long here. Point your right toe, bend your right knee, and reach around with your left hand to grab a hold of the top of your foot. Nice. And then from there, try and lift your knee, kick into your hand, and open up your left shoulder. Hug your belly up into your spine to help with balance. Really plug your left shin down. Slowly release everything down to the mat. Tuck your toes. Lift your hips high, downward facing dog. Maybe move it around if you need to. Maybe pedal through your legs if you need to. And then floating your right leg high again. So same leg. On your exhale, step your right foot forward to the inside of your right hand. Low lunge. Shine your heart forward, plug your shoulders down your back, press back through your left heel. And this time, sweep your right hand forward. Keep your left hand down on the ground. Yeah, just see how that feels, see what that does. Can we lift the belly up off of the thigh? Slowly let your right hand find the mat. Step it back to your plank pose. Hold it here, press back through your heels. Shine the heart forward. Hug the belly up. And then lower your knees, your chest, and your chin down into the mat for your 8-point salute. Inhale, draw your belly and your chest forward down to the ground. Draw the shoulders back, baby cobra. Exhale, press it back, child's pose. Inhale, draw yourself back forward, all fours. Send your left leg long behind you, tucking your toes, press back through your heel. From here, float your heel hip height, keeping the toes dialing down to the ground. Keep your left hip nice and square. And then from there, float your right fingers forward. Really plug yourself down through your right shin. Keeping the belly hugging nice and high up into the spine, and soften your left elbow so you're not locking anything out. Pointing your left toe and bending your left knee, gently reach around with your right hand to grab a hold of your left foot. And just squeeze, hold it there for a moment. And then kick the knee higher, kick into your hand. Slowly let all of that go, yeah. Tuck your toes, lift up, downward facing dog. Inhale, sweep your left leg high. Exhale, step your left foot forward, low lunge to the inside of your left hand. Press back through your right heel. Try and lift your chest and belly up away from your thigh, and then float your left hand forward. Make sure we're breathing. Nice, you guys. Let the left hand come down. Step it back to your plank pose. From here, lower your knees, your chest, your chin down into the mat. 8-point salute. Inhale, draw it forward, baby cobra. And exhale. This time all the way to downward facing dog. Take your gaze up to your hands. Walk your feet up to meet your hands at the top of your mat. Forward fold once you arrive. Inhale, reverse swan dive up to stand, sweeping the arms out and around nice and high. On your exhale, bend over to the right, sending your hips to the left. Inhale, come through center, reach nice and long. Exhale, bend over to the left, sending the hips out to the right. Nice. Inhale, up through center, take a baby back bend, lift the heart. Exhale, dive through center, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, hands come to the shins, send the tailbone back, reach the crown of the head forward. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees, plant your hands, step back, find your plank pose. Send yourself forward, halfway to lower, chaturanga. Untuck the toes, inhale to upward facing dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. Inhale, rise to your toes, bend your knees, step your feet to the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive up to stand. And then exhale, bend over to the right. Inhale through center. Exhale, bend to the left. Inhale through center. Exhale through center, downward face, forward fold, not downward facing dog. We're not in downward facing dog. Inhale, halfway lift. I know, it's early, I can't get my words right. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees, step back, inhale to plank pose. And again, exhale to chaturanga, halfway to lower. Inhale to upward facing dog, pull the shoulders back. Exhale to downward facing dog. Shining your sits bones up towards the sky and allowing your heels to drop down towards the ground, bending your knees as much as necessary here, and really plugging all 10 fingers down into the mat. Inhale, lift your right leg high behind you. Exhale, draw your knee forward into your chest. Squeeze. Inhale, up and back to three-legged dog. Exhale, draw your right knee cross-body to your left elbow, twist. Inhale, up and back, three-legged dog. Exhale, right knee comes to your right elbow, hold, and then step your right foot to the outside of your right hand. Yeah, nice. So we're here in our active lizard pose. Peel the shoulders down and away from the ears. Really press back through your left heel. And if you would like to, you can crawl down to your forearms. You can also lower your back knee and untuck your toes. Or, third option to add is to let your knee kind of fall out to the right and roll out to the outer edge of your right foot to really allow the hip to open. Yeah, now from wherever you are, slowly work your way back up to that active lizard. So your right foot is firmly planted, both hands are down, tuck your toes, lift up through your back knee. Spin your left heel down to the ground and peel yourself open into a warrior two. Nice. Deeply bend into your right knee. Yeah, so your right knee is stacked right over your ankle. Really pressing down through the outer edge of your left foot. Peel your shoulders back, your left shoulder pulls back. And energy's coming out of both sets of fingers. Inhale, flip your right palm, reach it forward. Exhale, straighten out your right leg and tip back, reversing your triangle. Coming forward, inhale, bump the hips back, reach forward. Whew, and then tip down on your exhale, triangle pose. Lay back with the left shoulder, press the hips forward so we're really opening up, pressing against the imaginary wall behind our spine. Beautiful. Inhale, flying warrior. So come up to stand and spin your right toes towards the left side of your mat. Excuse me. On your exhale, let your heels spin in, sit down, goddess pose. And really strong cactus with the arms. Press back through the outer thighs and dig in with the heels. Make sure we're breathing here. From here, just drop your right elbow down into your right hip. Extend your left arm over, so we're reaching over to the right, and then spin your left heel back out. Now you're in your supported side angle. You're right there.
Stay.
Really press down through your right forearm to lift your right side body away from your thigh.
Stay. Catch.
Grow your neck a little bit longer.
No. Get in.
One more breath in.
Get in there. Get in there. Stay.
Beautiful. On your exhale, let yourself spin all the way down to the mat. Plant your hands, step your right foot back, inhale to your plank. Exhale, taking your flow. Meeting in downward facing dog. Yeah. On your inhale, lift your left leg high behind you. Exhale, draw your knee into your nose, squeeze. Inhale, three-legged dog, up and back. Exhale, twist, left knee comes to your right elbow. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, left knee comes to your left elbow. And then step your left foot to the outside of your left hand. Here we are, active lizard. So we've got a couple options. You can stay right here. You can drop to your forearms. You can drop your back knee, untuck your toes. You can also allow your leg to kind of roll open to the outer edge of your left foot and your knee kind of falls over to the left. Just notice your breathing here. Try and lengthen your breaths as we're trying to lengthen our hips. Gently bring it back up to your hands. Let your left foot come onto the mat and tuck your right toes, lift up into that lizard. Spin your right heel down to the mat and lift yourself up into your warrior two. Noticing where your weight is, can you evenly distribute your weight on both feet? And really light up both sets of fingertips. Inhale, flip your left palm, reach forward. Exhale, straighten out your left leg. Lay back, reversing your triangle. Inhale, rising back up, bump the hips back. Reach forward, and then on your exhale, we tilt down into our triangle pose, making sure, excuse me, that both legs have a slight bend to the knee. Trying not to lock out our knees ever, and really lay back, especially with the right shoulder, to press into that imaginary wall. Inhale, rise up to stand and take your flying warrior. So spin your left toes towards the right side of your mat. Sweep both arms high overhead, and then exhale, spin your heels in, sit down, goddess pose. See if we can sink a little bit lower down into our hips. And then take our left elbow down to our left hip crease. Take the right arm up and over. Feel that stretch from right fingers to right hip. And then spin your right heel out, finding your supported side angle. Keep peeling your right shoulder open and back. Spin your ribs. One more inhale here. On your exhale, windmill your hands down, find your mat. If you have any mat left, if you don't have animals that have taken over, and then take your flow. Nice. All right, making a few changes. Inhale, take your right leg high. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose, squeeze. Inhale, three-legged dog, lift it high. Exhale, step your right foot to the inside of your right hand. Spin your left heel down, open up, warrior two. Inhale, flip the palm, reach forward. Exhale, reverse your triangle, straighten out your right leg. Inhale, up to stand, bump the hips back, reach forward. Exhale to triangle pose. Inhale to rise up, flying warrior. Spin your toes towards the side of the mat. Exhale, sit down to goddess. Nice. Drop your right elbow down into your right hip crease. Take your left arm overhead. Spin the left heel back out, supported side angle. And now you can stay here or you can drop all the way down into your fully extended side angle. If you want to take a half bind or a full bind, feel free to take either of those options. Holding it down in that side angle. One more breath in. One more breath out. Inhale, rise up, stay in that warrior two legs. Reverse your warrior here. And then as you come back forward, step into your right foot for your Ardha Chandrasana, standing, balancing, half moon. So if you need your fingertips to come down to the floor, you can always take that option. If you need your top hand on your hip to feel the opening of the hips, you want to think that your hips are stacking on top of each other. Your shoulders are stacking on top of each other. So really try and peel your left hip open, open, open. Slowly let your hands come down to the mat. Peel your left knee in and come to a forward fold. It doesn't have to be graceful. Finding that forward fold and then bringing your feet all the way together to touch once you're there. Squeezing in with your inner thighs. Shift the weight back into your heels. Inhale to chair pose. And really dialing everything in, wrapping around and in, around and in, around and in. Inhale, rise all the way up to stand. Connect the hands overhead. Exhale, bend to the right. Inhale through center. Exhale, bend to the left. And inhale through center, maybe take a little back bend, lifting the heart and chest. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to your shins. And exhale, fold. Bend the knees, step back to your plank pose. We'll take our flow from here. And meet in downward facing dog. Inhale, your left leg lifts high. Exhale, knee to nose, squeeze and hold. Inhale, three-legged dog, up and back. Exhale, squeeze, knee to nose. Inhale, three-legged dog. And exhale, step your left foot forward. Spin your right heel down. Open all the way up, warrior two. Inhale, flip the palm, reach forward. Exhale, reverse your triangle, lay it back. Inhale to rise up, bump the hips back, reach forward. Exhale, come into your triangle pose. Inhale it all the way up, spin the left toes to the right side of the mat, flying warrior. Exhale, sitting down to your goddess. Drop the left elbow into the left hip crease, reach the right arm overhead, and then spin your right heel open, supported side angle, or we can take it all the way down this time to our full side angle. Either option is absolutely available to you, and if you want to take a half bind, Wrapping your right hand behind your back, or the full bind, taking your left hand between your legs. That's an option too. Keep breathing. We got 2 more breaths here. One more inhale. Exhale. Wherever you are, go ahead, release, come up, reverse your warrior, stay bent in your left leg. And then as you come back up and forward, step into your left leg. Ardha Chandrasana, standing, balancing, half moon. So really rooting down through your standing leg. And if you're holding onto the mat with your toes, release your toes, press down through the ball of your foot. Peel open with your right shoulder. Peel open with your right hip. So again, we're still standing, pressing our spine against the imaginary wall behind us, and you want to think that both hips are touching, both shoulder blades are touching the wall. So you're really peeling yourself open, open, open. And then from there, just let your hands find the mat. Slowly draw your right knee in, come to your forward fold, release. And bring your feet all the way in and together to touch. Shift the weight into your heels. Inhale, sweep the arms high, chair pose. Sit 1 inch lower. Really send the weight into your heels, peel your shoulder blades open, sit 1 inch lower. And then exhale to forward fold right away. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Stepping back on your inhale to your plank pose. Take yourself through your vinyasa. And we'll meet in downward facing dog. Slowly from downward facing dog, walk your hands and feet together, coming back to your forward fold. Once you're there, once your feet are underneath your hips, heel toe your feet open and give your toes a slight 45-degree angle. And then from there, slowly work your way down into your Malasana squat. So dropping the hips down between the ankles. Bringing the hands to heart center. And then try and let your chest lead forward. Plug your shoulder blades together on your back. So squeeze your shoulder blades around the racer back. Try and grow your neck a little bit longer. And then engage your glutes. Press into your heels so you're not just kind of hanging between your ankles. You're actually active and squeezing your legs and your glutes. Hug your navel in towards your spine. Trying to keep everything intact here. Release your left hand down in front of your left foot. Take your right arm out and open twist to the sky. Slowly return to center, slowly return to center, slowly return to center. Are you okay? If it hurts in the top of your ankle, open your feet a little bit more and come slightly wider and don't go as low with your hips. All that means is we need to get a little more flexibility in our ankles. Yeah. Okay, let's take the twist on the other side and then we'll come out of this. Take your right hand down in front of your right foot, or just stay in the center. You don't have to take the twist. If we're taking it, left arm comes up. Breathe. And slowly come back to center. As you're ready, let your hands hit the mat and slowly shift your weight into your hands to lift your hips up, and then heel toe your feet back underneath your hips. Soften your knees and just come into a nice deep ragdoll, holding on to opposite elbows. Nice long deep breaths here in this ragdoll. Release your hands down to the mat and crawl your feet back to a plank pose. Shoulders right over wrists. Spread your fingers nice and wide. Hug the belly button up and in. Press back through your heels. We're going to hold this plank. So feel all the parts of your body that are grounded, that are feeling the mat. Shift your weight slightly forward so your heart comes further between your thumbs. Yes. Soften your elbows and lengthen the back of your neck, lifting the back of your head ever so slightly to stay in line with your spine. Keep breathing. Really press the floor away with both your feet and your hands. Lift your kneecaps slightly higher. One more breath in. On your exhale, lower your knees. Send the hips to the heels, child's pose. Here in your child's pose, just walk your hands over to the right, stack your left hand on top of your right hand, send your left hip really far back, feeling that opening in the left side of your body. And slowly crawl your hands over to the left side, stacking your right hand on top of your left. Press back through your right hip and feel that opening in your right side of your body. Slowly walk it back to center, reaching your hands forward, reaching your hips back. From here, we're gonna move to a rabbit pose. So for rabbit, you stay right here, keep your forehead plugged into the ground. Just release your hands behind your back, clasp your hands together, touch your palms. Open up your shoulders. Now maintaining the connection of your head to the mat, just slightly lift your hips and roll over to the crown of your head. Lift your hands up overhead and allow that weight to be evenly distributed through your shins that are plugging down into the earth and the crown of your head. Press into the floor, press into the floor. Lift your shoulders, lift your shoulders. One more breath. And slowly roll back down. Once you're here, just rotate your head side to side, massaging your forehead. Massaging your eyebrows. Slowly come to center, release your hands. And press up to a seated position. From here, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. We're gonna move into pigeon. So inhale, sweep your right leg high behind you. On your exhale, draw your right foot forward, lining it up behind your wrists and extending back through your left leg. Untucking your left toes once you're there, allowing your right hip to slightly fall over to the side, but you want to try and keep your weight evenly distributed and keep your hips as square as possible. And then once you're here and ready, you can either stay lifted or you can walk your hands forward and allow yourself to forward fold over your front leg. Whatever you like is absolutely fine here. But just notice your breath. Let it settle. Slowly bring your hands back underneath your shoulders. Walk yourself back up and slowly lift your torso up. Let yourself roll out to the right. And spin your left knee and toes up to the sky. Drawing your right foot into the inside, the inner thigh of your left leg. Take your right arm up and over. We're gonna open up the right side, so keep your right shoulder peeling back as we open up and lean over. So this is way more about the side body and the low back than it is about your hamstring and your left leg. Continue to reach your right arm really far over, and try and press down with your right hip. Slowly rise up. Nice. And then just crawl your way back to downward facing dog. Once you're there, taking pigeon on the left side, so inhale, sweep your left leg high. And then on your exhale, move into your pigeon on the other side. And then once you're there, taking the liberty to either stay up or take that laying down position, the forward fold. One more breath in. And then slowly start to crawl yourself back up. Lifting the heart. Once you're there, roll over to the left and spin your right knee and toes up to the side, placing your left foot to the inside of your right inner thigh. Flex your right foot back. Keep both sits bones firmly planted into the mat. Open up your left shoulder and lean over to the right side, taking your left fingertips up and over, lengthening your neck and pressing down through your left hip. Continuing to reach long. And slowly rise back up to sit. Nice. Spin yourself so your feet come to the top of your mat. And then rolling down onto your back. Walk your feet nice and closely in towards your glutes. Pressing in with your heels, bump your hips high, press down through your shoulder blades. Coming into our glute bridge. Once you're there, you can crawl your shoulders underneath to puff the chest further and use your forearms and your hands to press down into the mat to lift a little bit higher, really opening the heart. Taking that nice big back bend. And slowly reverse that movement, coming back down, feeling your spine attached to the mat. And let your knees just knock in towards one another. Taking one more back bend, bring your feet back to hip distance. You can go right into that same glute bridge where we were, or you can take full wheel. If we're gonna take full wheel, you bring your hands to the tops of your shoulders, your fingertips face your shoulders, elbows shine to the sky and shine your armpits to the sky as you press into the floor to lift up. Otherwise, we just take our same glute bridge. So wherever you would like to go, whichever back bend you'd like to take, on your inhale, rise up. And then as you're ready, you can slowly let yourself down, reversing that movement. And once your spine hits the mat, draw your knees into your chest. Maybe you rock gently side to side on your spine. And then let yourself find the soles of your feet with your hands. Peel your hips open, happy baby. Press the spine fully onto the mat, so drop your tailbone. And really press your heels towards the sky. Your knees come in towards your armpits. Slowly bring your knees back together, giving yourself a hug. And then let your knees fall to the left side of your body. Take your gaze over your right shoulder, pin your left shoulder or your right shoulder back down onto the ground, taking that gentle spinal twist. Slowly draw your knees through center and let them fall to the right. Taking your gaze and your left shoulder over down to the mat on the left side. And slowly come back to center, plugging your shoulder blades down into the ground. Extend your legs up to the sky, flex your toes back towards your face, and just let your hands come to the sides of your body. Your knees can be as bent as they need to be here. Close down your eyes. Allow this unsupported legs up the wall to just be a nice gentle inversion to end our practice. Feeling your whole spine attaching to the mat. Slowly bend your knees and let your legs fall long onto your mat, flipping your palms up to the sky for your Shavasana. Trying to not let anything be moving through your mind other than just the thoughts of your breath. then slowly starting to deepen your breath. Find a little bit of movement through your fingers and your toes. Maybe taking your arms overhead and giving yourself that full body stretch. Excuse me. And then eventually taking your time and taking whatever journey you'd like, making your way up into a seated position. Take a deep breath in, sweep your arms high over your head. On your exhale, draw your hands through center, bowing your head. Awesome, awesome job.